Listening 20. Listen and read. What does Kate draw?
Right. You all have your ideas ready? Who wants to start?
Where's Kate? Has she done the pictures yet? I don't know. She hasn't told me. This is awful. We need Kate's pictures.
Look, here she is.
But these aren't sports. They're buildings. I couldn't draw sports, so I used a ruler to draw buildings. It was easy. We're going to paint famous buildings from around the world. This is Big Ben in Britain, and these are the pyramids in Egypt.
Later.
Well done. You've all got great ideas. Next week, we'll paint the murals and have a celebration. The theme is Around the World. Please bring some traditional food from around the world.
The next week.
Our wall looks amazing. It's the best.
That was a fantastic idea, Kate.
Listening 21. Listen and repeat.
Amazing. Awful. Bright. Delicious. Deserted. Disgusting. Original. Traditional.
Listening 22. Listen and repeat.
Danger. Dangerous. Poison. Poisonous. Hazard. Hazardous. Fame. Famous. Adventure. Adventurous. Fury. Furious.
Listening 23. Listen and read. Where is the reporter?
The festival has been on for 5 days now, and there are still thousands of people in the streets of London. I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning, and it's been great. The procession has already finished. You can probably see the floats in the distance. There are food stalls everywhere, and I've just eaten some delicious pancakes with chocolate sauce. I haven't seen any fireworks yet. They're going to be on later tonight.
Listening 24. Listen and read. Where do Chip and Professor go?
Look at this festival. Everyone has to wear a costume. This year, the theme is the future.
I went to that festival last year. It was fun. I've made my costume.
I don't need a costume.
Wow! Your costume is great.
Thanks. Professor made it.
Listening 25. Listen and read.
Top 10 food festivals. Going to festivals is always fun, but going to festivals that have delicious food is even better. Here are some of our favourite food festivals around the world. They celebrate special foods that are made or grown in that part of the country. 1. If you like chocolate, you will love Euro chocolate. This festival takes place in October every year in Perugia in Italy. It lasts for 9 days. What does it celebrate? Chocolate, of course. Nearly 1 million people go to the festival every year. The streets are full of places to buy different kinds of chocolate snacks. You can also see chocolate sculptures. One year, there was a huge igloo made from chocolate bricks. At the end, the sculptures are broken up and given to people at the festival to eat. 2. The Gilroy Garlic Festival is one of the largest food festivals in the US. The festival takes place every year in Gilroy, California. It happens on the last weekend in July, and it is one of the best garlic festivals in the world. So what do people do? Well, they eat lots of things made with garlic, including garlic ice cream and garlic chips. There are also garlic cooking demonstrations. If you like garlic, this is a great festival to go to. 3. If you go to India in July, you should go to the Mango Festival. In India, mangoes are called the king of fruits. Mangoes are grown in India and they are very popular. The Mango Festival is in Delhi and goes on for 2 days. There are more than 500 types of mango. You can taste different mango dishes, mango jams, mango juices, mango desserts, and anything else with mango in it. There is also a competition with a prize for the biggest mango.
Listening 26. Listen. What food do they celebrate in the festival?
Today on Holiday Entertainment, I'm talking to Sonia Marsh. Sonia has just come back from France and she's going to talk to us about the Rice Festival in the town of Arles. Sonia, first, can you tell us when does the festival take place?
It takes place every year in September when the rice has been taken from the fields. Everyone celebrates because the rice is ready to be eaten.
How long does the festival last?
It lasts for 3 days.
And what kind of things do people do?
Well, they do a lot of cooking on the streets. They cook huge dishes of rice with fish or chicken. The food is really delicious. You can buy it on the streets.
How else do people celebrate?
Well, the festival is like a huge party, really. The streets are crowded, there is music. Everyone from the town is there, so you can go there with your friends and family.
I've heard that there are animals involved too.
That's right. It's traditional to ride horses down the street at the festival.
Well, the Rice Festival sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you, Sonia, for telling us about it.
Listening 27. Listen and write. Sing.
It's festival time again. People are out in the town. They're laughing and dancing and clapping their hands to traditional music and original bands.
It's festival time again. Fireworks are up in the sky. They're whizzing and banging and making a scene. The lovely bright colors of red, gold and green.
festival time again. Children have come out for fun. They're running and jumping and eating nice treats, amazing cakes and delicious sweets.
Festival time is done. The streets are deserted again. Parents are holding their children tight. They're smiling and yawning and saying good night.
Listening 28. Listen and read.
Hi, Layla. Are you and Zaid doing anything special this weekend?
Hi, Megan. We're going to the theme park. Why don't you and Ben come too?
I'm not sure. Mum wants us to go shopping on Saturday.
That's okay. We're going on Sunday. Can you come?
I'd love to. I'll ask Ben.
Great. See you on Sunday.
Listening 29. Listen and write true or false.
Hi, Zaid. How are you?
Hi, Ben. I'm all right.
Are you doing anything special this weekend?
My parents want me to stay with Layla.
Oh, right. Where are they going?
They're going to the new art gallery in town. They want to see the sculptures there.
OK. So, what are you doing with Layla?
Well, in the morning we're staying at home and doing some painting. We need to finish our school projects. Why don't you come round?
Sorry, I can't. I'd love to if I was free, but Mum wants to take me shopping in the morning. What about later? Are you doing anything special in the afternoon?
Well, if the weather is good, we'll go to the park. What do you think?
That sounds good.
Why don't you and Megan come too?
I'd love to. What time are you going?
At about 2:00.
All right. I'll ask Megan and we'll meet you there. I'll bring my new football.
Great.
And what are you doing after that? Are you going home?
No, we're going to a cafe for pizza and chips. Do you want to come too?
I'm not sure. I'll ask Mum.
OK. See you tomorrow.
Listening 30. Listen and read. The Olympic Games. The early games. The first Olympic Games were held at a place called Olympia in Greece in 776 BC. At first, there was only one race. It was a 170-metre running race called the Stad. In the race, local athletes ran across a piece of ground and the whole event was finished in one morning. However, it was very popular and athletes spent weeks practicing and training for the event. Soon, more races and competitions were introduced, and people began to travel from other countries to take part in them. Then, in AD 393, the new Roman emperor decided to stop the games completely. Gradually, earthquakes and floods buried the site of the ancient festival. The first modern games. For hundreds of years, the games were forgotten. Then, in 1894, a French academic called Baron de Coubertin decided to bring them back. He believed that sport was an important part of people's education and that it made them better people. He studied the history of the ancient games and decided to organize an international event with many of the traditions from the original games. In 1896, the first modern Olympic Games took place in Athens, and 14 countries took part. Their motto was Citius Altius Fortius, which is a Latin expression meaning faster, higher, stronger. Baron de Coubertin believed the games would be a great way to bring people from lots of different countries together to compete against each other and work to be the best sports people that they could be. The Olympic Rings. The Olympic flag was first flown at the 1920 Olympics. The 5 rings represent 5 world continents. The flag has a white background, and each ring is a different colour: blue, yellow, black, green, and red. These colours were chosen because every country had one of these colours in its national flag. It is a symbol of the way that all the countries come together to take part in an international sporting competition. The Olympic medals. Olympic medals are designed for each Olympic Games, so every year the medals are completely different. There is a medal ceremony after each Olympic event. They raise the flags of each winning athlete's country and play the national anthem of the gold medalist. Then they give the 3 winning athletes their medals: bronze, silver, and gold. The Paralympic Games. There have been many changes to the Olympic Games over the years. One of the most important is the introduction of the Paralympic Games. In 1948, Sir Ludwig Guttmann organised a sports competition for people with disabilities at a hospital in England. 4 years later, competitors from Holland joined them. Then, in 1960, Olympic-style games for athletes with physical and visual disabilities were organised for the first time in Rome. Today, the Paralympic Games are a world-famous sporting event. They take place after the Olympic Games have finished in the same city. London 2012. In 2012, the Olympic and Paralympic Games took place in London for the 3rd time in history. There are many traditions at the Olympics, and one of these is the opening ceremony. There are always fantastic displays of music, singing, and fireworks, and people dancing in traditional costumes. There is a procession of athletes in their teams, and the Olympic flag is raised. Finally, the Olympic torch is brought into the stadium, and the Olympic flame is lit. Then, the Games can begin. London's opening ceremony was given the title Isles of Wonder, inspired by Shakespeare's play The Tempest. The show represented Britain's history and culture. It lasted for 4 hours and was watched around the world by more than 900 million people. There was some great music, including songs by Paul McCartney from the Beatles, Arctic Monkeys, and a performance by the London Philharmonic Orchestra. There were some funny moments too, such as when the Queen appeared with James Bond. Breaking records. London 2012 saw some fascinating firsts. Here are some of them. Usain Bolt, Jamaican sprinter. He made history by being the first to achieve a double-double, by winning the 100 metres and 200 metres titles at 2 Olympic Games. He and his teammates also set the world record for the 4x100 metres relay. Nicola Adams, British boxer. She became the first female boxer to win an Olympic gold medal. Sarah Attar, Saudi Arabian runner. She became the first woman from Saudi Arabia to compete in an Olympic athletics event when she ran in a heat of the 800 metres. Michael Phelps, American swimmer. He won 4 gold and 2 silver medals, making him the most successful athlete for the 3rd consecutive Olympics. He also became the Olympian with the most gold medals. In total, he has 18 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze medals. Sarah Storey, British cyclist. She broke the record for the women's road race in the Paralympic Games, when she finished 7 minutes ahead of the silver medalist.
Listening 31. Listen and read.
The Picture of Dorian Gray. Many years ago, there lived a young man called Dorian Gray.
He was a handsome and pleasant young man, and he was always very kind to people. Dorian Gray loved art and beautiful things, and he wanted a picture of himself. So one day he visited a friend of his called Basil Hallward. Basil was a talented artist, and Dorian asked him to paint his portrait. Basil agreed, and every day Dorian went to his art studio and sat while Basil painted him. One day, when Dorian was at the studio, he met one of Basil's friends. The friend's name was Henry Wotton. While Basil painted, Henry talked to Dorian. He told him about beauty and youth. He said that these qualities were the most important things in the world. He said that they were more important than kindness, intelligence, gentleness and patience. Dorian listened very carefully, and soon he started to believe that this was true. At last, the portrait was finished. It was a wonderful painting and one of Basil's best works of art. Dorian stared at the picture for a long time. At first, he felt very happy. He saw a handsome young man with a kind and intelligent face. But after a while, Dorian started to feel sad. He remembered Henry's words, and he knew that one day he wouldn't be handsome and he wouldn't be young. One day he would be old and grey. "I wish," said Dorian suddenly, "I wish that I could always stay young and that the picture would get old." Henry laughed when he heard this, but Basil was very angry. "Don't talk like that," said Basil. "That's a terrible thing to say. Many things are more important than youth and beauty." Dorian didn't believe Basil. He just felt sad because he was going to be old one day. Dorian took his portrait home. But now his life was different. He didn't see Basil for a long time. He met Henry and his friends instead. They talked and went out to theatres and to restaurants. Slowly, Dorian started to change. He became hard and cruel. He didn't think about other people's feelings. He only thought about himself. One day, he looked at his portrait and thought there was something different about it. What was it? He looked more closely. The face had changed. The mouth looked unkind. It was strange. Dorian picked up a mirror and looked at his own face. Then he looked back at the portrait. It was true. The portrait was different. Suddenly, Dorian remembered that he had wished to stay young while the picture grew old. It seemed impossible, but his wish had come true. Dorian covered the picture. He didn't want to think about this terrible thing. One day, Basil visited him at home. They talked for a while, and then Basil said, "I want to borrow your portrait. I want to put it in an exhibition in an art gallery." Dorian thought about the painting and how it had changed. "I'm sorry, Basil," Dorian said quickly and quietly, "but I can't give it to you." Basil looked at him strangely. "You've changed, Dorian. You used to be a kind man. Now you are cold and selfish." When Basil had gone, Dorian took the portrait and put it in a small room. He locked the door and put the key in his pocket. "No one can ever see this portrait," he said to himself. And so the years passed, and Dorian still looked young and handsome. He enjoyed his life, but he didn't care about anyone but himself. Behind the locked door of the little room, the picture of Dorian Gray grew older and uglier. The face showed the truth about Dorian's bad life. Sometimes Dorian went and looked at the picture, and he thought how terrible he had become. He hated the picture, and he hated his life. At last, Dorian decided to be good again. He thought that if he was good, the picture would change back again. But it was too late for Dorian Gray to change. He died, and when he died, he became old and ugly, and his portrait suddenly changed back to look as handsome and young as it was at the beginning. Based on a story by Oscar Wilde.